I think I'm live. This is the first time doing this. I didn't make an announcement or anything, so I'm not really expecting much on here, but I will get on here and talk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I really wanted to just talk about some of the things that I wish I would have known about my locks before I got them. So I'm 11 years strong. I've had my locks 11 years. I got sister locks um 11 years ago, and there's just a few things that I wish somebody would have told me, but you know, it is what it is. I have them now. So mistake number one was, well, I won't say it was mistake number one. It's just I wish I would have had a better understanding about what I have and what I was getting. So if I would have known the difference between the micro locks and the sister locks, I would have gotten the micro locks. Absolutely, I would have gotten the micro locks. So the reason is because from my experience, y'all know, I've been doing hair, locks, natural hair for, you know, 12 years basically, probably a little longer than that if you really want to dig into my history of hairstyling, but just exclusively natural hair, locks and things like that. About 11, 12 years. Around the time I got my locks is when I really dug deep into, that whole side of things. But I didn't realize that the micro locks base was a little bigger than the sister locks base. And that's just from my experience. I mean, because I've seen some micro locks that are the same size as mine. The only difference is maybe the grid or something like that. But for the most part, they are a little bigger. I would have gotten, some locks that were a little bigger for the base, considering how long they are now. So y'all know, anybody that has been on my channel know that I've talked about that before, how the size of the base of the lock matter after they get longer. A lot of people get their locks and they're just like, they love them, they want them to be full in the beginning, and all of that. But as they get longer, those small bases that allow the fullness in the beginning will come back and get you. They will come back and get you and let you know that I need to be a little bigger, which I've talked about combining my locks at one point. My loctician asked me to just wait. She was like, can you just give it a little bit? Let's try to change up your pattern and see if we can just get a different result. And so that's what we're doing right now. But I really do want to combine them, but we'll see. I'm not going to rush on that just yet. But that was one thing I wish I would have known. Another thing I wish I would have known is my color and when to do it. I got my color maybe the day before I got my locks. And as a stylist, I knew better. But I still tried to just do it, and I didn't really care for the results. So I tell people, even when I do installs and things like that, I tell people, look, don't get your color yet. And even if you want to, let's say for instance, you want to get color before you get your locks. Okay, do that. But do it like several months in advance. Like do it to where you can actually nurture your hair. You know what I'm saying? After you've done something like getting a color. You know what I'm saying? You need to put some nutrients back into your hair. Like you need to put some deep conditions on there. Just kind of strengthen and fortify the hair before you lock it. Because once you lock it, you're not going to be able to do that to it. So when I did, I put my color in a day before I got my locks, and I couldn't nurture them. I couldn't take care of the fact that I had just got color and I needed to put some type of moisture and protein back into my hair. I couldn't do it with a new set of locks. So that was really not a good idea to do. And I know a lot of people want to do that, but that's why I would tell someone to kind of chill on that. Do it either several months in advance to give yourself a chance to do something to it, like a deep condition, some reconstructors, whatever the case may be, and then do it, or wait until you are ready to get your locks. Get your color after you've gotten your locks, to allow that time for your matting stage where you're not putting anything on your hair and you're allowing it to do what it needs to do. You don't want to do that with freshly colored freshly colored hair that needs that extra attention. So that was another thing I wish I would have really thought deeper into, because I kind of knew it, but I was gonna wing it, and I didn't really care for it. And the reason why I say that is because my locks, I've had my locks about 11 years now, and I feel like I've probably cut and allowed, well, I didn't allow it because I didn't want it to happen. Shit, I cut it after getting color a couple of times because the ends were kind of raggedy. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I've lost about 4 inches of hair, of locks, since I've gotten my locks from day one. I feel like I've lost to where, like, I didn't want to cut it. I've lost it about 4 inches of hair due to how my ends were with the color, because when I first got them, of course, that was the hair that was down closer to the ends. It really wasn't getting what it needed, so it kind of got out off on a bad note, you know what I'm saying? But we making it through. I'm actually thinking of doing a good cut. I've been wondering or thinking, I don't know if I want to do it, y'all. Honestly, I don't know if I want to cut. I'm thinking of cutting maybe about 4 inches off. I'm not sure how long my hair is right now. I probably should measure it before, but I'm thinking of cutting it just to give me, just a little something. I like the natural lay of my hair. I really don't like a blunt cut, which I think that looks fine. I'm not knocking anybody, anything with that, but I kind of want mine to be just that natural V lay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm thinking about right now with doing it. But I am trying to get with a couple of locticians that's well established in the industry, former trainers of Sister Locks. So I want y'all to stay tuned for that, because I want to try to create a new way of gridding the hair. So when you are the grid part, so when you get to a stage in your lock journey where you feel like you need to combine them for a little more stability in your base, that is possible with keeping the integrity of your grid. So I don't know how long it's going to take to solidify that. And if anybody on here does locks, hey, start figuring out you another grid. You know what I'm saying? To where you can put the locks in where they're full, and as the person, or as their locks age, you can have that option to put them together. You know what I'm saying? Combine them. So I think that's a good way to go with that, because it gives you the option of the fullness, but it also gives you the option of the strong base as your locks start to need it. So that's just me and my experience on wearing them, and also with my experience of doing installs. I feel like that is the better way to go when it comes to that, because I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot just with myself, but then I'm also seeing it with other people, and people that I've done installs on, because I have some of my people that I did an install on like early on when I first took the Sister Lock class, and I was trying to do everything exactly the way Sister Lock said do it. And when I do their reties now, I see that they have a lot of locks on their head, and they're small. And I did the medium size now. I did the medium size, but they are still small on their head. And I know when they get to the length where mine is, something's going to need to happen there. You know what I'm saying? I know that. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? It's something to think about for sure. And let's see. So what else do I feel like I wish I would have known about it? I know my edges, they be crying out. You know what I'm saying? They be crying out a little bit, so I'm trying to be mindful, because I love to pull my hair up like this. Like, I like my locks to be like up and off my face. And I'm not a big style person, so I will tell you, if you like styles, I know I have a couple of clients that like to get a style every single retie, and I don't really recommend that, because the pull up it can start to take a toll on your little edges. You know what I'm saying? Especially by the base of the lock being so small. When I talk about combining, that's actually where I want to start. I think I just want to start with this first, half of my head in the front, because the back is not so bad. The locks are still kind of small back there, but it's not like to the point where I feel like, oh, I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? But up here, I want to make sure I kind of keep this intact, because in the next 11 years, I still want to have these. You see what I'm saying? I still want to have my edges intact. And I'm not real big on like laying my edges. You know what I'm saying? I don't slick them and do all of that. You know, I feel like shit. I got locks. I mean, like, what you want from me? I mean, I'm gonna lay them down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do the best I can. But as far as me really getting it in and trying to slick and lay them, I just don't do all that. I really don't. You're going to have to take it. You're going to take what's going to come from under this bonnet. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so that's another thing, is to kind of just be mindful of your edges when you're doing your styles and pulling them up and things like that. I have started to kind of brush them a little bit or whatever. And oh yeah, I did get this comb, this wooden comb that I got it off of Amazon. And after I do this live, I'm gonna find the link and I'll put it in the description so you guys can have it. But I like it. I'm actually going to I probably show it. If I had it here, I would show it. But it's a wooden comb. Now I will say this, like, hey, I ain't the one for trying to just, get y'all anything and trying to, get a whole bunch of people trying to, purchase from my links or anything. Truthfully, I've been combing my locks for years. I would get a wide tooth comb, the ones that's kind of like, they're wide, but I don't know, the teeth of them are kind of long and wide. And I would just comb through my locks. I do feel some type of difference when it comes to the wooden one, because the teeth of it is like a little thicker or wider, and they're shorter. So, it does something a little different when I comb through them. But I would recommend it if you have locks that are long enough and they get tangled. Because when I wake up in the morning, I ain't gonna lie, I don't be putting a bonnet on, y'all. I mean, like, what? I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I don't put a bonnet on my hair every night. When I get up, it be looking a mess, like it did when I was loose natural and I didn't do right before I went to bed, and I got up in the morning and it was a tangled mess and I had to figure it out. I'll be like that sometimes when I wake up in the morning with my locks. So I'll comb it, with the wood comb, and I do like it. I do like it. So I've been doing that since I got it. I got it off of Amazon. It was real cheap, whatever. And it works. It works just fine. So that was just a little side note. I'll talk about the wood comb later. But I have been brushing my little edges, trying to keep them intact, and do that. But now another thing that I will say, and this was something I think it just kind of happened because I had really dry scalp. When I first got my locks, I had really dry scalp, and I wasn't sure how it was going to work with me not putting anything on it, especially after I had did that old crazy color where I knew better. But I don't really put a lot of product on my hair. And I remember going to my new loctician for the first time, and she was like, oh, you don't have any lint in your hair. And I was like, am I supposed to? Because I don't want it, And so she was like, no, it's just most people do. But I don't use a lot of product on my hair at all, really. When I shampoo my hair, I still braid and band my hair when I shampoo it. I find that it works so much better for me as far as kind of keeping everything organized because they're so long now. But I'll braid it, band it, shampoo it, and I really don't put much in it after that. Now, when I do put something in it, I'll use the Infusium 23. Old school leave-in. If y'all know it, you know it. Infusium 23 is the bomb. Please don't sleep on it. And it never stopped working. It's just a lot of other products came on the market and, kind of pushed it over to the side. But that product has never failed me as far as the strength of my locks. So I use that because I like a liquid based leave-in that is with no creamy nothing in it. Like, I don't want anything that can actually sit in my lock. I want it to run through and run out or soak in, but never sit on my lock. So I use Infusium 23 on there after I shampoo it or whatever, and I go get my retie and roll out. I'll use a good clarifying shampoo. I have used the Sister Lock products. I used those in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's, different strokes for different folks. It worked for me, in the beginning. I've run across products that work just as good. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's up to the person if they want to try them. Of course, if you use the first, which one? The starter shampoo, it is extremely concentrated. So you're going to have to dilute that. So if that's a struggle trying to understand that formulation, just get you a good clarifying shampoo. Okay? A good clarifying shampoo, and go easy on the products. If you have to put something on your hair, make sure it's extremely light, like something like a jojoba oil. That's the closest to the oil we produce, from our own sebaceous glands. Like a vitamin E, just something like a grape seed that's really light. You know what I'm saying? Like something really light. If it's heavy and thick, don't do that, because what's going to happen is, between your sweat and the debris that just sticks to things, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you put a good gloss on and the wind blow and a little piece of something gets stuck in your lip, you already know. You know what I'm saying? Same thing happens for your locks. So if you have something in your hair that is really thick and holding on, and you mess around and lay your head on your pillow or something like that, the lint from the cotton pillowcases and things like that, it will get stuck in your locks. So be very careful with that. I don't have lint problems, and I don't want nobody else to have them, but that's what I do to kind of keep mine at bay. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. What else? Oh, I will say this. I'm just like really dumping on y'all right now, but I went to the ocean not too long ago, and I just dip my head in the water. Usually I don't put my hair in the water, because I really don't know. Like, you see little stuff swimming in there. Like, is it going to get caught up in my lock and I'm taking it home? I don't know. But I did it. I dipped my hair in the water. And if y'all follow my, I think I did it in a short on this page, you'll see where I was in the water. It was absolutely beautiful out there. And if for y'all that don't know, I've done a total body transformation. So go look at my video, because my body looking good. And I need y'all to look at that. But anyway. But when I had dipped my hair in that water, that salt water, my locks were extremely soft for about 2 weeks after that. And I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't got nothing to hide. I didn't shampoo my hair after I did it. I didn't shampoo my hair after I did it. I probably should have, but I didn't. But my hair was extremely soft for about 2.5 weeks after I did that. So that makes me want to really dig into salt water for your locks and how that works. So with that being said, that's all I got. I'm so glad that I had at least 3 people to get on here. And if y'all watching in the playback, please say playback. And if you're on here right now, I really appreciate you for watching. Please stay tuned. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to keep bringing y'all the facts and information on locks and whatever else I have to drop in here. I really want to start talking more about my body transformation and what I did to get to where I am and what I'm going to do to get to the next level with that, because I have been working. Okay. But with that being said, I'll talk to y'all later. I hope everybody have a good day, and I hope I know how to turn this live off, because this is the first time I did this. Okay. Let's see this. Okay.